Throughout Dooku's life, there was a seemingly never-ending supply of events that would push Dooku away from the Jedi Order and towards the dark side. Whether it be the Order's blind acceptance of the instructions given by the Senate, the waste of Jedi lives in useless political conflicts at Baltazar Galadron, or the death of his former Padawan Qui-Gon Jinn, all of these events culminated in the decision by Dooku to leave the Order and ally himself with Sidious and the dark side. But there was one event that occurred long before any of these others, and which would ultimately shape Dooku's opinion regarding the value of his loyalty to the Jedi, and which made it inevitable that he would one day turn against the Order. In this video expose, I will describe the childhood betrayal Dooku endured when he was initially made a Padawan, and would eventually play a role in his fall to the dark side. Before becoming a Padawan, like all new Jedi within the Order, Dooku was brought to the Jedi Temple Academy on Coruscant and placed into a clan with other new initiates. Of these fellow initiates, Dooku became quick friends with a human male named Lorian Nod, and they would become training partners and proceed through the first rank within the Order for about 10 years. Roughly 67 years before the outbreak of the Clone War, right as he turned 13, Dooku was chosen to be the Padawan of Jedi Master Thame Sir Julian. However, Dooku's success in acquiring a master who was not just a distinguished historian but also sat on the Jedi High Council resulted in feelings of jealousy in his friend Nod. Hiding these feelings from his friend, the two Jedi decided to learn more about Dooku's new master, and started to search through Thame's private chambers while he was away from the temple conducting a mission for the Order. Dooku and Nod found numerous documents and journals that were of interest to them, but there was one finding that fascinated Nod more than any other. Information about a Sith holocron known as the Dark Holocron, which was being stored within the Temple Archive's holocron vaults. Captivated by the device, Nod tried to convince his friend to help him attain the holocron locked away within the vaults. Dooku instead refused, knowing it was against the regulations of the Order, and told Nod that he shouldn't have even brought it up. However, insecure that he may never be a great Jedi like Dooku's past seemed destined for, Nod secretly gained access to the vaults and stole the holocron. However, having been negatively influenced by the dark side present within the holocron, Nod approached his friend Dooku for help. While Dooku chastised his friend for stealing the holocron and tried to convince him to return it immediately, Oppo Rancisis, drawn to the dark side present within the room, found the two in possession of the holocron and confiscated it. Although Nod entered the vaults by himself, he nevertheless accused Dooku of stealing the holocron. Shocked by such a betrayal from his closest friend, Dooku was too astonished to say anything in his own defense. In the succeeding days, Dooku and Nod continued their training and were placed on opposing sides of a tracking exercise through Coruscant. Eventually, the two friends would cross paths, which ended with them brawling with each other before being separated by Yoda. Recognizing that there was a clear animosity between them, the High Council called Dooku and Nod to meet before them. In front of the council, Dooku revealed the truth and explained that Nod was the only one who stole the holocron. Demonstrating that Nod didn't only breach the Order's regulations in stealing the holocron, but also that he lied and betrayed an innocent friend, the High Council concluded that Nod wasn't fit to continue through the ranks of the Order. Ultimately, the Jedi Council of Reassignment placed Nod in the Agricultural Corps within the Order's Service Corps, where he would serve for the next 13 years. Although Dooku was cleared of any wrongdoing, the betrayal by his friend had a significant impact on him and would shape his future within the Order. As recognized by Dooku within his final moments during the Battle of Coruscant, the entire event made Dooku realize he was different than pretty much every other Jedi within the Order, and transformed his opinion regarding his attachment and friendships with other Jedi. Furious that his reputation and entire future within the Order had been put at risk simply due to the trust he placed in a friendship, Dooku from that point on never again allowed himself to see others as an ally or a friend. Instead, other beings were merely simple abstractions who were either an asset or an enemy. Having cut himself off from the Order in this way following the betrayal, Dooku went on to view the Jedi, even those he was closest with such as Mason Yoda, simply as assets. Those who could be used to serve his own various interests. This disassociation with other Jedi allowed Dooku to hide his true activities from the Order, and his lack of friendships and attachments ensured he could focus on his own ends. Other beings, including his colleagues within the Order, weren't even entirely real to Dooku. All he was concerned with was what they could do for him. Therefore, when it was time for Dooku to pursue his dream of a galactic government that was free of corruption and which would be free to act with true authority, Dooku had absolutely no attachments or real reason to stay loyal to the Jedi Order. Because of the betrayal of Lorian Nod, Dooku was free to move on from his use of the Jedi for his true ends and adopt a more advantageous asset. So there we have it, the childhood betrayal that ensured Dooku would turn against the Jedi. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... for having it happen again.